Let's start with the introduction, human motivation, and shaping influences. One of the ways that I want to talk about this is looking at Paul's model in Ephesians 4, 22, 23, and 24. This is where he told us that we are to put off that old person that is corrupt with deceitful desires. He continued to urge us in verse number 23, that we should renew our minds, and then in verse 24 that we want to put on a new creation, a new person, Jesus Christ, true righteousness and true holiness. And he understood that there is a former manner of life that makes up who we are, and everyone has that former manner of life. And it's important to understand that he was talking to the church at Ephesus, and so he was talking to Christians, people who have been born again. And I think sometimes we can, even though we know it, we can forget it, that we brought our former manner of life into our Christian experience. Though we are entirely saved and our seat in heaven is certainly assured, and that we are in Christ and we are a new creation, we are also implored to grow up as newborn babes, that we desire the sincere milk of the word so that we can be mature in Christ. And so Paul is letting us know that even though you're eternally secure, there is a former manner of life, and that former manner of life has motivations, as he says in this verse 22, that they're deceitful and corrupt. And part of why they are deceitful and corrupt are because of our shaping influences, the things that have happened to us. All of us can reflect on our lives, and we can probably list, I hope it's a short list for you, the big bad things that have happened to you, or perhaps they have been big good things that have happened to you. But either way, the big stuff that happens to us shapes us. Then, of course, there are a million small things that happen daily. These things are more imperceptible. We can probably recognize the big things and some of the ways that it has altered our trajectories, but then there are the small, imperceptible things that happen on a daily, moment-by-moment basis. But whether they're big or small, the things that happen, that come into our lives, good or evil, they do bring shape to us. But it's not just one direction. The things that have happened to us, it's also the things that we have done. We have made decisions. We are free moral agents. We can choose good. We can choose evil. And so when you combine the big and small things, the choices that we make, the good and bad things, all of that works together to shape us, and it gives us a former manner of life. Now, if you were, say, like me, you were not regenerated, you did not become a new creation in Christ until you were 25 years old. Well, I have a quarter of a century of adverse, mostly shaping influences that I brought in to my Christian experience. And so even though I was fully saved the moment God regenerated me, I have spent a good part of my life working through that former manner of life, my human motivations and shaping influences. And so it's important to understand that, especially for a new convert. You could think that, well, everything's going to be different now that you have become a Christian, and that is true in one sense. But there is also work to do, as Paul told us in Philippians 2, that we are to work out our salvation as God is working in us to will and to do His good purposes. And so there is work to do, and some of that work can be difficult depending on the big and small things that have happened to us and the decisions that we have made.